You are listening to the No Invite Podcast.
Season 3.
The progression.
Follow us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast or look us up on YouTube at No Invite Podcast.
The best kept secret.
Hey, it's your girl, the best kept secret per usual. And I'm here at the No Invite Podcast with the one and only
Blaze One Diz checking in.
Exactly. And we are here bringing you episode 99. It's about to be the centennial episode. Yes.
Yes.
And we coming to you with that fire. You know, how was your weekend?
My weekend has been weird. You know what I mean? I've been moving around, doing a little bit of traveling and shit. So I am not used to being moving around like this. You know what I mean? But I in a strange way, I am. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I was younger, you know what I mean? I was a knucklehead. So, you know, at times I literally lived out of my backpack and out of my motherfucking, you know, duffel bag or whatever, that, you know, couch surfed and all that shit, you know, was, you know, I was acting up and just living out of my suitcase and shit again. I'm like, damn, this shit feels like I've been practicing for this shit my whole fucking life. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't complain though, because it's all beneficial. Vacation. Yeah, it's not even vacation. It's all business, baby. Just know that. Just know that there's dollars involved with this. I mean, it may not be a lot of dollars, but just know there's money out here. You feel me?
But that's the best way to travel is when it's attached to getting some money.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, at the same time, it's getting me used to stuff because, you know, if we talking about these businesses and what we trying to do out here in these streets and in this world, you know, that's something I just have to get used to. It's part of the. It's part of the agenda, you know. I have to be ready. I have to get out there and get to it, you know.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, I know you know because you already been taking trips and all that. You've been Colombian before me. That's crazy.
Yes,
you know I watched Scarface. I've been trying to get out there.
Hey, it's actually super nice though. But you know, the next trip is gonna be. I'm going back to Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
But the next big trip, I decided to cancel going to Kenya. And I'm going to go to Greece. I really want to find... Now, I'm curious. How do you feel about going somewhere, me, you, the whole crew, the whole family, for my birthday?
I would love that. Huh?
I'm thinking Aruba for my birthday.
That would be so dope. That would be dope. I'm down for that. You know, I think we can make it a thing and do a lot of vlogging out there because it's beautiful out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get... I'm talking to someone... the person who helps me with my trips, my travel agent. I'm talking to her now about getting everything together, setting up packages.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm thinking I'm getting like an Aruba vibe for my birthday. Like
I like that. You know, a little bit of clear water. You know what I mean? Nice white sand. You feel me? Something like that. Yeah, I'm with that.
And to all our listeners, if you want to send me something, my birthday is March 7th, just so you know.
March 7th. Y'all, yeah, I'm sure you will. And don't let us, I'm going to put it in the bio. We're going to put that shit, the link. You know, we got space for links in there. So we're going to put your Cash App in there. But most definitely my passport's something I got to get used to. You got your real ID yet?
Yeah, I have my real ID and I have my passport.
See, I gotta get all that. I gotta get my affairs in order. You know what I mean? I gotta make a trip to Mexico coming up next summer, I believe. Mm-hmm. Or the summer after that, actually. Excuse me. In 2024, we're hitting Mexico on some other shit.
So when we get off this podcast, I'm gonna need you to go get your passport or your real ID. Start the process. Yeah. The real ID comes super quick though.
No, right? No, the real ID is like a regular ID. Basically, they're just asking for more criteria in order for them to confirm it. You know what I mean? Like they want they want 2 residence bills and they want your birth certificate, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, so they just want some more shit to confirm it. I was almost there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just renewed my driver's license and I done fucked up because I went unprepared. It was just part of what I had to do. You know what I mean? I went unprepared and fucking ended up getting. They were like, yo, you want to do your real ID? You know, do you got 2 bills? And I'm like, yo, I gotta fucking go. I'm like, you know, I literally budgeted this time to go in here, in and out. I ain't got time to go back to the fucking house and grab the bills. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just pay for it. And then I got to get that shit redone. And I definitely got to get my passport cracking because there's a couple other trips calling my name right now. And your boy is getting used to flying. Put that one.
Yes. Speaking of flying, I don't know if you saw it, but there was this.
I did see it.
There was this whole incident in the airport, and it ain't even the first one. But this specific one, the guy was in the airport. It was a man and a woman kind of going back and forth. As they were talking, another man came and stood between them. When the other man stood in between them, the woman slapped the agent.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like, she kind of slapped him and tried to run. Clearly, he must have played football or something because he caught the tail end of her legs. Like, hold on, you're not just going to be putting your hands on me. And so it brought up the conversation to me of like, it's like not hitting men like really supposed to be a thing. Because I felt like there were people inside the comments that were making good sense where they were saying like, y'all want to make sure that I don't put my hands on this woman and defend her. But when she assault me, you're not defending me. What do a man do in that position? Yeah. And my answer was, I have a son. So my son is definitely being taught, don't put your hands on nobody. However, if somebody put their hands on you, male or female, you have every right to defend yourself. Yep.
I'm non-discriminate because I've seen females in person take advantage of that. And I'm like I told you before, I'm pro nobody touch nobody. Don't touch me. I'm not going to touch you if you don't want me to touch you. You know what I'm saying? You hit me, I'm going to defend myself. Now, to what degree depends on what you hit me with and what kind of a hit, you know what I mean? Because, if it's that aggressive, I'm trying to take your head off type hit, or if you're just trying to like swing at me and trying to like slap me or grab my, it's good that, like I said, it's going to, how you're attacking me is going to dictate how I fucking respond, but at the same time, I teach my son and I tell everybody else, I'm all about self-defense. You know what I mean? Just defend yourself at all times. The one thing I will say about the situation though, because I did see the video, is that dude, before she put her hands on him, dude didn't have to sit there and be arguing with her. That's the first problem to begin with right there. Okay, you mad because this, that, and the other? Okay, this really all we're gonna do? See you later. You know what I mean? I'm going to go do my job. You want to be mad right here. There ain't nothing else for us to say no more, especially if she's getting vulgar and disrespectful. Like, okay, well, that's how you feel? Go and do what you got to do. You feel me? First mistake that I see right out the gate is like, why are you sitting there getting in her face, arguing with her to the point where when somebody actually stepped in, it emboldened her. She was probably waiting for that, for that moment. Right. To somebody to get in between, because obviously she was scared. This is a big dude compared to her. But at the same time, like I said, you shouldn't have been arguing with her like that. To me, I'm more of a person that's proactive. So I try to analyze the situation before I jump in it and move with an idea of the response. You dig what I'm saying? I'm always going to be like, okay, if I jump in this situation right here, I know that the outcome could be this. Right. So now is what going on right now worth me even responding to that?
I think I do agree that the argument before the slap was a bit excessive. Like, I'm not about to sit there and argue with nobody because I'm a strong believer. Everybody got a boss. I don't got to talk to you. Where's your boss? Exactly. Then the other question I was wondering was like, it was kind of like a kind of a longer video. Isn't there like security or police or somebody? Where were they?
I mean, you got to think of it like this, and I'm going to keep it funky with you. And I've been noticing this a lot, though, going through TSA and going through all that. They've been kind of lax lately on shit. Before, it used to be more officers there, period. And I'm thinking, maybe because shit has been smooth that they're not really tripping, or maybe it's just the airports I frequent, because that could be something too, like where they're not as a high risk or whatever. But I haven't really seen, you've seen that video where the other dude got into a fight with the Delta employee and he socked him and busted his eye open and shit, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. The last couple of times that I've been through, the airport, I haven't seen much police presence as I used to see. You know what I mean? So, right. At the end I feel like it was a lot more in the past. But now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing a whole lot either. A whole lot, right? Used to see the dogs and everything out there. They didn't even know they'd be ready and shit. So I don't know, but it was a longer thing. And my thing is like, you at that time, bro, it's like, She done got in your face. She done said everything that you had to say. Remove yourself from that situation, period. That's it. You want to be mad, bitch, be mad right here. You know what I'm saying? By yourself. I done told you everything I had to say. You done said what you got to say. Ain't nothing else to talk about. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? And see that the fucked up thing about the situation is, though, although she put her hands on him first, the fact that he responded, more than likely he's going to have to bear some kind of repercussion because of that. You know what I mean?
His job.
Yeah, most definitely. He'll probably lose his job, but at the same time, they're gonna look at it like I'm looking at it. It's like, look, it should have never got to that point. You're a man. You should have just She didn't hit you. She was talking shit, whatever. That's cool. And like I said, you can talk all the shit you want. This is when you have to take the control back from people. Because if you're the kind of person that gets mad and somebody could say some shit to you and make you do some shit that you probably otherwise wouldn't, then you're not in control anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't understand the statement because he's a man. I don't understand why we as a society put more, I guess, certain level of maturity on a man than we do a woman. Because the same way he could have removed himself, she could have too. Like,
no, for sure. Period. It was a stupid situation. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying for him, we put a lot of that on there because as a man and the way that the whole dynamic has been set up is that we assume that responsibility. That's something that we ourselves have placed on ourselves, as part of being a man, you know what I'm saying? You accept responsibility for certain things and you understand that that you're supposed to conduct yourself in a certain manner. Like this is not your woman. This is not a family member. There's no reason for you to sit there and argue with this woman about anything. She done said what she had to say. You said what you had to say. And if you listen to what he was saying, he was really upset about how she was talking to him. But it's like, okay, bro, you're not going to reason with somebody that's being unreasonable. So now at this point, somebody, if you are right as you say you are, or as you feel you are, then you have to be the person that steps away from the situation and before it escalates. Now, is that by him not doing that, does that make what she was doing right? No, she was out of pocket all the way around. That's another thing that I talk about a lot. It's like, I hate people that treat people that work in the customer service field like they're their fucking pets or they're their property, and they can just they're supposed to do whatever the fuck they tell them. No, they fucking not. They're there to assist you. You know what I mean? And help you get a better experience when you go purchase what they're selling, their products, whatever the case might be. So I hate when people act like that to customer service people to begin with. But I mean, it was out of pocket all the way around. It was going fucking tits up the minute that he sat there too long arguing with her. You know what I mean? Right.
It was just a lot. It was a lot to watch. Because I kind of felt like I'm not super big on arguing. I'm very big about respecting my peace. I feel like I will go deaf, mute, and dumb and stop talking to you. Like, I even had a similar situation at my job where someone was talking to me like, I don't know who they thought I was. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I can't lose my job. I just was like, listen, you no longer have the right to speak to me. Don't say nothing else. That's the end of the conversation.
Keep it professional.
They kept talking. I walked away, closed the door. They knocking on the door. I don't care about none of that. Put my headphones in. You will not have the opportunity to speak to me no more. Period.
You will not have the opportunity to speak to me. You will not have the opportunity to try to manipulate the situation into making me the bad person. You will not have. I will not give you the satisfaction. And it goes back to the same thing we were talking about earlier. But we'll get to that later when we're talking about airing out too much shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to do that. Period.
Right.
Some things belong in their spot. Some things belong in their box. So since we're on the subject, I wanted to ask you some shit, right? I seen did you hear that? Or am I tripping?
No, sorry. That was me.
Okay. All right. At least I know I'm not hearing your shit, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. Where I'm at, I be hearing noises and shit. And I be hearing I'm not going to say weird shit, because that shit don't, even if it is weird, it doesn't bother me as much as some people would get scared of or something. I understand that it's whatever it is, you feel me, or I don't know at all. But I be hearing shit over here. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? Just making sure, I'm not crazy and shit. So, okay. So I seen a video the other day, and somebody was really upset that they didn't get the shout outs that they wanted for their birthday. And it really meant a lot to them because they were lightweight spazzing. You know, when people get that little foam on the corner of their mouth when they talking like it's the hell of dry, and they're just like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was one of those things, right? And I just wanted to ask you a quick question. It's like, yo, what's your like policy when it comes to shouting people out, birthday shout outs, anniversaries, yourself even, it's my birthday, whatever. Like, what is your policy when it comes to that? Or do you even have one?
I feel like I really don't necessarily have a policy. One, I'm too inconsistent when it comes to social media, right? So I have so many things that be going on in my life and so many things that I'm trying to do. I may jump on post and never jump on again. People always be like, but you're waiting for a response. Yeah, like don't wait for a response from me because you may not get it. The other thing is I feel like, to me, whoever that person is they probably struggling with a little bit of insecurity. And to me, that's what social media is doing to people just as a whole. But you are looking for the instant gratification of acceptance from people that really don't know you. Social media is full of people that really don't know you and really don't give a fuck about you. So why would I care if a bunch of strangers acknowledge me on my birthday? Now, if you are in my personal life, or like if y'all listening to this podcast and my birthday is March 7th.
And you want to drop some money on her, she's going to drop that Cash App tag, link in bio, I'm talking about?
You feel me? But no, if you actually know me, you don't have to do anything on social media. Your acknowledgement can be totally different. Like, everybody, I think, that social media shit I don't give a fuck about it. Yeah. I wouldn't give a fuck who acknowledged me on social media because most of the stuff that I post, I don't care about anyways. Like, I don't know. I think on one of my pages, I don't even think it got my real birthday on it. Yeah.
We were being a little fraudulent, you know what I mean? They're like, and the best kept secret, born in 1992. So look, I get it. I totally get it because I'm the same way. It's like if I know you and I really fuck with you and you know me, I'm not tripping off the fucking social media, fucking Instagram post because I don't care about what anybody that following me feels about how I feel about my friends.
Right.
I fuck with you. I don't care like if this person's like, it don't matter. A million shout outs. I mean, I do shout outs. Don't get me wrong. If the spirit moves me, if the Instagram Holy Spirit moves me and it takes me where I'm supposed to go, then I go there. But I'm not tripping. I've really been on my cult shit. That, like, not cult, like, but people been, that little meme that I had about what's it called? And I've been hella making jokes about that shit because it's hella funny. But anyway, that's a sidebar. But like I'm saying, I don't do that. At the end of the day, it's not that serious to me. My guidelines are as if I know you, I'm gonna tell you. And if I shout you out, it's because I feel like it. And I don't do any shout outs of any type with any kind of expectations. Like, because I do this, you better do this for me, bro. Nah, hell no. I don't do that.
But you shouldn't do anything that way. I think for me, It's more so, I think the only people I really make it a point to shout out is probably like a family member that I really don't see often.
Yeah.
And I could see like, oh, it's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, cousin.
Or somebody, that's your family member that, like you said, you don't see.
But randoms, no, I don't. First of all, like a lot of people get mad because I tell them real quick, I don't even give a fuck about strays. And I feel like you can have stray ass family members, stray ass friends.
I'm like, yay, bro, it's your birthday now. Yeah. I love your life.
So we acknowledging that you older. And what are you doing? That's another big thing. Like, you want me to acknowledge that you are 1 year older. And if you are 1 year older and you are still doing the same shit you were doing 5 years ago, So if we still just going to the club and we just getting drunk, if we no. You ain't inviting me to a trip, then I damn near don't even want to be a part of your birthday celebration anyways.
Now. Everybody's on different levels of evolution. Just because they're still on their 2005 shit, that don't mean that they don't deserve a happy birthday. Okay. I'm
not saying they don't. Listen, I never said you don't deserve it. What I'm saying is you can't have an expectation for the acknowledgement from me.
Facts.
Now, if you still on some just random shit, I think the problem is people are putting too much emphasis on people that should be considered a stray in your life. People that really don't fuck with you or really don't know you. Like, if I can't text you right now and be like, oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, don't take it like people don't care, because in reality, people really don't care. I know I probably don't care. Like, if you my family, I'm going to tell you. And if I see you on Instagram shouting yourself out for a birthday, or people are shouting you out, then I'm going to DM you at the very least and tell you, hey, happy birthday, straight to you. I'm not with I mean, I'll say it in somebody's comments if I don't really fuck with them. Like I said, if the spirit moves. But as far as like shout outs and stuff like that, just know that I live your life for reals, not just for the Wi-Fi. Right. You know what I mean?
Not for likes. I think there's probably I don't even think I could name 10 people I would shout out. That's the unfortunate part. Like, in real life, like, put you on my social media and let people know that I know you, like, the long way.
I could, but I'm so weird. Like, I'm so, I guess you could say, paranoid and PTSD. That it's like, I don't want people knowing who the fuck my main people is. Fuck you guys. That's just for me to fucking know. Like, if this is my A1 day one, like, it's different if we're in a field, like if we're trying to make money or something like that. But if you're talking about my personal family members and my cousins, I don't want you knowing who the fuck that is. Fuck you. Like we all, let's not get it fucked up. We on Instagram to share experiences with people and moments with people. I ain't got to share in those moments and those experiences. You ain't got to know my whole fucking background. You ain't got to know my whole family tree. You ain't got to know who the fuck I be around on a daily basis. I don't even go live on you motherfuckers because motherfuckers is haters. Like I said, you know what I mean? What we do in our real lives compared to people that have less than us by choice, not by, circumstance, it'll be enough to make somebody not like you, that you have done nothing to. Because they think that you are excelling at and doing way better than them off in life. And it really reflects on them more than it does you.
I feel like I literally just experienced that. Like, I just had one of my cousins, somebody you've known me my whole life, talk like I got money and I'm like doing so well. Granted, I'm not doing horrible, but I'm like, what are you basing this off of? And she was like, I see you on Instagram. You basing it off social media? Baby, we need to start talking in person. Because I think sometimes social media, one of the biggest misconceptions is on social media, a lot of times they show you the fruits of the labor. Yeah. But you don't understand that there's so much labor that goes on to get that little piece of fruit. Like, no, I mean, yes, I'm a big it up and I'm a celebrate it, but at the same time, like, this shit was hard work.
Yeah, and that is the problem. That's why we've said it on the podcast, because we always talk about social media and shit like that, and the pros and cons about it and stuff. And like, part of that is just the whole fact that people get your highlight reel. They only see the best moments, and that's by choice. It's rare that people go on there and show you at their lowest, and at the same time, you really don't want to see that all the time. Like some things ain't meant for social media. Like, social media should be understood as, yes, this is a place to display achievements and your highlight reels and have fun, but you don't want to get too personal, because getting too personal, you let too many people in there. And now you got a lot of people that have access to me. I remember we talk about that. It's like having who has access to you is a privilege. You know what I mean? So
right. And then you also got see, this goes into one of the things I was going to ask you about. Because when you give people that much access to you, that opens the door for them to have an opinion on you and your relationship. Oh, definitely. And so one of the things that I had saw was, what's her name? Krishan Rock and Blueface. Is her name?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. So apparently he asked her to be his girlfriend. And it's like, so backtrack, maybe like a week ago, there was a video that surfaced that they was outside in the street and they was brawling, right? Right after that, he went on live and offered to pay her like $100,000 to break up with him and just leave. And she's like, no, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go nowhere. Fast forward to like 2 days ago, she posted on Twitter, he finally asked me to officially be his girlfriend. And it's like, one, putting people that far into your business, you're open. Like, it's weird to me that y'all have these, they get celebrities, I'll say, get upset that so many people are in their business, but really you clout chasing. You putting this out there because you want us in your business and you want us to have an opinion. And then the other thing it made me think about was like this whole, like, what happened to the cancel culture? Y'all should have been canceled with the way y'all be behaving. This is like a toxic ass relationship. Cancel culture
is a myth. It's like you know how they say about evil shit. It's only real if you believe in it. You know what I mean?
True.
Because at the end of the day, they're gonna try to do everything they can to destroy you, and it's really all based on the severity of what you did. Some shit's just unforgivable. You know what I mean? And some shit is like, yo, it's not that fucking serious, but they're gonna try to use that. It goes back to everything we talk about. They're gonna try to use that influence to try to affect you in some kind of way. And when you're like at their stature, we're not going to front like they're A-list celebrities, but at the same time, they are very much celebrities that have eyes on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But people don't care. People let us see a train wreck. People let us see an accident. People let us see, a fight. You know, let's keep it 1,000. You know, at the end of the day, they are not getting the reason why they're not canceled is probably because they're not getting the kind of money or not money, but endorsements or product, from the right kind of companies. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Blueface and it was working with Disney or some shit like that, then yeah, it would be a fucking, like, people don't care, bro. At the end of the day, it's like the cancel culture shit to me is definitely a myth. It happens, but it's like I said, it's only if you let it affect you, like, and it can happen. Like it can affect your pocketbook depending on who you deal with if they don't like that shit when it comes to business. But at the end of the day, if you put yourself out there and you're going to be raw and uncut, you're going to be yourself, then just know that the people that you do business with should know the same thing. Right?
Yes.
And be like, yo, this is my life. You're getting in my brand. You're getting a business with my brand. You got to know how I live my life.
That part is true. I feel like they have, I guess they've created a brand around the bullshit.
They're branding themselves. If you watch them, they're branding themselves. And it's honestly, to God, it's not everybody, but there is a dynamic in this world that they speak to, because they probably have toxic. I know, man, and I know people right now that have a relationship with a girl like that, where it's all fucking good one day, the next day they're in the street fighting and drunk and doing stupid shit. The next day they're on social media slandering each other's name and calling them pieces of shit. And then the day after that they're together and it's true love, and no matter what, thick and thin. It's like, I know people that do that right now and they ain't even at that stature. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it's good. It's good fun. But what I will say though, it's all about where you're trying to go with it. Like, he's young right now, right? Blueface is young right now. So
how old is Blueface?
He got to be in his like, I want to say late 20s, mid 20s to early 30s at the most. You feel me? I don't know for sure, but he's still young. All things considering, like this is stuff that it might get brought up later. To, who knows what kind of person he'll be in 10, 15 years from now, and what kind of business he'll be in, what kind of, place in life he might be in. But this might be something that they use on him later. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a woman. Told you he's young. I mean, like I said, I know young couples that act like that right now. When I meant, like, that's what I meant. Like, I know old grown couples that act like this too. They've been together like 25, 30 years and they just treat each other like shit. And that's how they show each other love. But to me, like, how they act it's not everybody, but it's a dynamic out there that exists. and people, treat each other like that. That one day they fight. I don't act like you don't know, because you know somebody that act like that.
I was about to say, ooh, so, I've been that person.
As far as the cancel culture shit, though, I don't throw nothing in it. It can affect you, but it ain't the end all say all. One group of people can't cancel you to everyone. Like, it's always going to be based on what you're getting canceled for. Like, if you did some foul shit where you can't be forgiven, then,
Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool. I feel like I kind of do believe in cancel culture, though. I really do. Only because I feel like the fact that they have the opportunity to stop a bag is a problem for me.
But you're not canceled. They just say that because they use those few opportunities to cancel a bag or two from you to try to scare you and try to pivot you. And to be honest with you, it's like Boosie. He got money, he get money. He could say whatever he wants, because at the end of the day, his money is not relying on certain kind of sponsorship or certain business dealings with certain brands and certain corporations. So he's not at the mercy of them. At the same time, he's probably very limited on what he can and can't do and how big he want to expand because of his personal views and how he speaks upon things. But they're not canceling him. He's not going broke. He's not eating. You know what I mean? So
no, I mean, yeah. I mean, again,
it is. It is.
To me, it's like a slippery slope. Like, for me, especially coming into this industry, it's like I do have very strong opinions about stuff, and I don't give a fuck about what anybody feels.
Just know all this podcast is going to be used against you one day. But you know what, though? That's all right, though, because if people really understand how humans work, you got to understand that we're all growing and elevating and in different times, and we're in the midst of change right now. Like I said, we were saying it earlier. It's like I don't even know what the fuck will get me canceled now and what wouldn't, because it changes every day.
It really does.
Every day, somebody, you know what I mean. So if I'm at the mercy, because when I look at two things. I look at the social media world, and then I look at the real world. And when I look at the real world, it's very much different than what people get. Now, I get that at the same time, I don't know what everyone is thinking, what everyone votes, what everyone believes in, who's racist, who's not. I get that. But, the temperature is different than what it is on social media. I feel like social media is an extreme.
Yes.
You're not getting like the middle. You're getting extreme, either hate, extreme love, extreme don't give a fuck. But it's always the extreme.
That part is true. I agree with that. I guess when I think about the whole cancel culture and different stuff like that is, sometimes I know my opinion for sure can get somebody to cancel me. But like similar to like Blueface and the rock girl. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna call her. That's how I do. You say that, I know who you're talking about already.
But like you said, like this is really like something that they are actually going through in their real life, and there are real people out here experiencing the exact same thing. So I guess the whole thought of like the whole cancel culture and should things be canceled, I feel like it really shouldn't even be a thing, only because of the fact that there are genuine people that are out there that really live their life this way or truly have very similar beliefs. It's almost like when I saw it and I was reading in the comments and that's what someone was talking about, canceling them. In my head, I can't see you telling me that you should cancel me for how I chose to live my life. Like you gonna put us all in a box. That's not the way it works.
Well, the first thing is that the problem and the big dilemma that social media has created is that it gave everybody an opinion, but not only that, because everyone always had an opinion, but it gave everybody the ability to express their opinion to everybody else that's on social media. So, right. It's the thing is it's a slippery slope because, okay, take that. But it's a slippery slope just based on the fact that it's like at the end of the day, social media ain't us as a collective. Now, it's a good gauge or a barometer on like how things trend, but deep down in the root of the whole situation, everybody is different. When it comes to this situation with him and his female, at the end of the day, bro, people, you also got to remember, it's like people only care about what they want to care about. You know what I mean? We could go to a bunch of examples, and let this be an example as well as why the cancel culture shit is bullshit. Cancel culture is just a weapon. You know, it's been weaponized like anything else. And I have been clearly said it on here from the gate. I really feel like when somebody is talking about getting canceled, like it could be targeted. So for instance, because, you know, a lot of these comments that you read in these comments, they're bots. They're not even really humans. They're just people, whatever, you know? So I feel like a lot of times that when somebody wants to, now in this new day and age, when somebody wants to attack somebody else's brand, they hire hackers to stir up shit. And those are those bots that you see. And then one idea, somebody else hears it, you know, that makes sense. I'm rocking with that. And then somebody else, the next thing you know, you got a mixture of real, actual people. And then you got these bots that kick the whole shit off. Now, I feel like the internet can be weaponized. And obviously that's what cancel culture is. But at the same time, we all have to be mindful regardless. Like, it doesn't matter if somebody's making it a big deal or not. You got to be mindful of what you do and what you say anywhere, period.
Right.
And when you're in public, if you say something like this is a public platform, just like how we're talking about Instagram, they could read all your messages. They know everything. So if you're on there talking about too much bullshit, they know that. And if it sounds fishy, they know to report it to the local fucking authorities. So don't think that they don't know. And then motherfuckers wonder why. We talked about that as well in the group chat. Right. So it's a public thing. You know what I mean? And at that point, you got to understand it's like, okay, this shit's public. Everyone sees it. You got to be mindful of that. You got to be mindful of what you say, what you do. Then it goes back to everything else. You know what I mean? It's like just because I'm mindful, I'm not mindful, or if I say some crazy shit, at the end of the day, people are only going to cancel what they feel like they want to. And you're only going to be able to get canceled if they could really affect you. Like, if no one's stopping my bag, I'm going to say whatever I want until it stops my bag. That's why a lot of these people that do internet shit, that are rich and famous, they just do deals with the right people that are in line with what your brand is about. And they don't give a fuck what they say. And they still get their bread. They still get the bag. They're just not as prevalent as everyone else, or what we think is the, you know, apex of pop culture.
Okay.
A nice discussion though, but I wanted to ask.
I know, I do agree with you though. I really, really do.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing.
I just feel like it's so much. There's so many different ways that shit can go. Because even like when I was thinking about this as you were talking, you know, I also thought about Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You know, in her new album, she used the word spaz. Mm-hmm. And so she's taking it out because the disability community are offended. But I'm like, y'all aren't even the only, like, context matters. Like, I use the word spaz. Like, man, he gonna make me spaz out on him right now. Yeah. It's not like everything is not intended to like offend. Yeah. So sometimes it's just like, y'all are just a lot.
It is a lot. In the difference between, like we said, a Boozy and a Beyonce is, well, there's a lot of differences between a Boozy and Beyonce, but the difference is the kind of partners and the businesses and who she aligned herself with. So for her, she's at the mercy of that, because it's not even like it's going to affect her bread. It's going to affect her brand to the point where it might knock an opportunity off of her plate, because she took a stand and said, you know what, I'm leaving it in. I don't care how the fuck you feel. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's like, for her as a person, and it's not her fault, because she's bringing American culture to the whole world. And a lot of times we got to understand American culture, the things and phrases and shit that we say doesn't mean the same thing in other countries. You know what I mean? And that's just something that we can't help. Like, but that's her. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's since she has big aspirations and she's tied with Jay-Z, who does a lot of big business deals with people. It's just the one where it's, you know, she's going to bow down to that. Like I said, it's only, and now if she took a stand and said, fuck this shit, she could, and I'm sure she'll still get the bag, but it would be probably different later on. Future on, people would that might alienate her from the European market. You feel what I'm saying? And
right,
they thinking about money on a global scale, like as opposed to like some people are just on a national scale or whatever, or a local.
Right.
Okay.
It's a lot, but okay.
It's a lot to digest, and since we're on the subject, talking about fucking social media and whatnot. I had watched a Drink Champs episode. I don't know if you've ever watched that podcast. It's a really dope podcast. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's all about celebrating legends. So I'm all for that. They had a situation, right, that came up, and it was talking about, Irv Gotti got on there, and he was talking about Ashanti and this and that and the other. And he was stating a lot of personal shit. So I got to thinking, like, in some real life situations, this is actually a new dynamic, and it has to do with what we were talking about. It's a new dynamic when it comes to, like, why isn't Irv Gotti canceled? You heard what he was saying about Ashanti and everything, right? So this kind of ties in it in a sense, but in a different way. Although we could go down that rabbit hole we already just went through.
Right.
What I pulled from it is an interesting question, because we're trying to grow. We're the generation that's growing with social media, so we're trying to learn to adapt to it and how it fits in our world and whatnot. Do you think that it's cool to talk about private issues that you had in a relationship in public? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Did I say it right?
No, you did.
Son. Okay.
I
try to take my time. Try to say it slow, because I be talking fast. You feel me? You got to keep up with me. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't keep up, then you got to stay down. And if you can't stay down, then you got to move around. You know what I'm talking about?
I think if it's a past relationship, I don't give a fuck. So I think if it is my present day relationship, you may get like an arm, a leg. You may even get a post or two of the person, but you will never know if we are still together, not together, happy, sad.
I mean, eventually somebody else gonna pop up on the timeline, so they're gonna know if you're not together someday. Someday there's gonna be somebody else that just comes in, like, at first it's just a solo of you, and then it's like sliding right next to you. Like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? I thought she was with such and such. No, go ahead.
You know what? To be honest, the only person I think I probably post is my husband. And, I've had a couple situations where, but no. And a lot of times what most people don't know is if I'm fucking with somebody, we're probably taking a group photo and they are within the group.
They're like that's like that meme that says that your replacement is somewhere right here. It's the guy right there. See, his replacement was there the whole fucking time.
It just, like it's one of those things where I just feel like social media is a space where it has too many opinions. If it is if I genuinely love you and I want to, I really see myself fucking with you, I want to protect that.
Yeah.
And because I want to protect it, putting you on social media is opening the door for people to have opinions, and I can't control the narrative once they have one. Mm-hmm. So I'm not I will post, but I'm not super flooding the timeline. I ain't talking about our personal business. Now, this whole relationship, we broke up. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I talk about it all the time. All the situations I've ever talked about on here are all past relationships. They're all 100% real, and I don't give a fuck. Now, I ain't gonna tell you who, unless that person asked. Maybe if somebody asked, I'd have to think about it. It got to be the situation. that can get real complicated. But everything that I've talked about is 100% facts. They are real things that I've really experienced, real relationships. And shit, if we broke up, then I don't give a fuck no more. That's really how I feel. I don't give a fuck. So it is what it is.
I mean, I think there's levels to it, obviously, because, there's a difference between you telling your homegirl, whatever, telling somebody you're confiding them, you're talking about your situation and whatnot, or your prior situations more. Because I agree with you, first of all. Let me get that out the way. I agree with you. Current relationships and all that shit should not be discussed through social media or put out on social media. You will never know if I'm doing bad, I'm good, I'm up. You'll never fucking know, because the last place that you're ever going to see me have to come on there and say anything about is social media. And that's something that you learn as you mature on social media and how to use it.
Right.
But as far as exes go, I mean, it's your experience. You earned it. You earned it because it's a scar on your body. You feel me? You don't earn the right to say whatever the fuck you want to about it. Now, I will, out of respect, not only for the person, but for myself. I don't want to, you don't need to know all my shit. Like if I speak on it, like in the podcast sense, like how we do now, because we do talk about relationship issues and shit like that. I'm not going to fucking give nobody the shout out. It's like, you know, if we're not together, you're fucking dead to me. Then it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? So I'm gonna talk about you in past tense, like, you know what I mean? Like as a player should, you know, and as I expect to be talked about in a such like fashion, you know. It all depends. Like I think the thing that was foul that got people upset, I'm not gonna say that it's foul, because in my personal opinion, it was a little extra. You feel me? You know, it's one thing, like I said, if we the homies and you tell me about this situation you had and why things are.
But isn't that the setup of drink champs? Like these aren't people that you don't know. Like, you know these people.
It isn't, but that's not the thing though. You got to remember, and even now while we do this, is that it's us, plus we're letting one other person into the circle. These conversations we have are things that we would have amongst ourselves. The only difference is, since we're choosing to make it a podcast, we're letting the audience in as that extra member. So even if they don't have a direct opinion or they can't speak up right now in the moment, they are definitely going to walk away knowing whatever they know and have their opinion and say what they're going to say to either the comments or their friends or whatever the case might be. So that's the difference. You know, you dig what I'm saying? So the fact that everybody knew and they're doing, I mean, at the end of the day, I really looked at it like business hype. But as far as for people that I know and everything like that, it's like, bro, it's cool to talk about what you've been through and whatever and what made you better. But I'm never the one that, I don't like that getting too personal shit on social media, period. Like, okay, I get it. You're not with your bitch no more. I get it. You're a brand new motherfucker. You know, I'm a brand new man. Can't no one hold you down. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what's next? Because if you keep talking about that, bro, obviously that's what defines you. You got, and we are everybody. Yeah, everybody goes through it though.
Yeah, but listen, I know I'm awesome as shit, and I know I can name 3 men off the top of my head right now that I think 2 of them have even gotten married, but they miss me. Like, you know, I was good as fuck to you. You know, you had no reason to make us not work out, or maybe I just moved on because your ambition wasn't matching my ambition, whatever the case may be. You know that you lost something good, so you still think about me. You still talk about me. I got one dude who his mama still like talk about me and be trying to invite me over. Like, so Ashanti must be her. Like, she's about.
But you know what it is though? You know what it is at the end of the day? That's just people that's truly unhappy. It ain't nobody. They're looking for their happiness. Remember how we talked about it like a couple episodes ago? They're looking for their happiness within somebody else, and that's the problem. They didn't want to fuck with you no more because they thought that someone else or being away from you somewhere else was gonna make them happy. That's what was fucking up their life. That was what they needed to get right. And now that they're over there, they realize that, yo, this ain't it. And it's like, no matter where you go, there you are, right? So at the end of the day, if you're an unhappy person, no matter who you with, you're going to be unhappy, because when you had what you thought made you happy now, you didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Well, I could tell you one person I know. Well, he claims he's happy, married and all. You just, no matter what, she's not me.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, and I could go right now. And look, I'm with you. I believe you. I'm totally for that, because I'm gonna tell you right now, there ain't one ex that was actually my girlfriend, that I could say I claim right now, walking the face of the earth, that don't want me back.
Exactly. There is not one ex that have ever dealt with me the long way that still don't try to like tap in every so often. Like in me, I got to a place of peace where it's just like, oh, it feels exhausting to even consider it. I can't. I gotta go.
You just outgrow people. Like I'm good. You know what I mean? When I'm good, I'm good. When I reach my limit, I reach my limit. And,
that means you're a good person though. And that's why I always try to tell people, like, from the rip, like, leave me in my happy bubble. If you know that you come in and you got ill intentions, don't even show up. Because the one thing that I could tell you for sure is once you get blessed by me, like I tell people all the time, I've built a couple motherfuckers for the next.
And it's like, once you get blessed, turn the water into wine, turn the wine, you know what I mean?
I feel like I have built men for other women. I have turned you into the guy that want to keep the stable job, that want to be the family man.
Screwing the arm in.
And I just feel like regardless of all that, you exhausted me and I don't want to anymore.
But you know what, though? That's what we all are, no matter what. When you think about it, no matter what, you're always going to be building up somebody for someone else if they are not the one that you are meant to be with.
Right.
That's an experience. You did what I'm saying? That's what it makes.
And I tell them they're welcome.
Yeah,
I really be feeling like they should send me like a gift basket or something. Like, you're welcome.
In a strange way, everybody should be thankful of everyone's exes if you're with somebody right now that you are happy with. Because by them dealing with them how the way they did and bringing them to the mind state that they are when they met you, you found the person that was ready for you. You know, the only way you get ready is through what? Experience. You know what I mean? That's the only way you get ready. You got to learn.
Well, where is mine? Why are we talking about this? Like,
oh, well, episode 100 is coming. So,
okay.
So look, anybody and everybody that's listening right now, I need y'all to understand something. Please slide in the no invite DM at no_invite_podcast on Instagram. We are doing the dating game and we're going to try to select at least 3 eligible bachelors to come in and sit down in front of Ann, and they're going to shoot their fucking shot, and we're going to see if Ann will give them, you know, a little sample, you know what I mean? Go out on a date, and you know they get some conversation from her and see if it's really magic and all that. And I'm going to be sitting on the sideline talking in my Chuck Wolverine, that's pimping / Cat Williams voice. Like, what's happening? Now you're here on the dating game. We got this wonderful person right here named Ann. And we got 4 eligible bachelors. I can't say all of y'all know how to read, but that's okay, because I'm going to read this shit for you. All you got to do is answer. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, though, please tap in if you're interested and you want to shoot your shot. We're going to be shooting this in person, so you could come up, you pull up. All you have to do is hit DM to the No Invite Podcast, no_invite_podcast on Instagram, and just say, hey, I want in. And you have to post it. I'm gonna make a flyer. We're gonna do it this. We gotta do this week. We gotta pump it this whole week. And if we don't do it, then maybe we can't do it. Like, we can't line nobody up for whatever reasons. Motherfuckers are scared. You know, people are shy and shit.
You know, people do get intimidated by me. Sorry.
I mean, it's one thing. See, the thing is once again, going back to social media, right? It's one thing, like, social media that made a lot of motherfuckers brave because they could just leave a risky message. And if you don't say nothing, whatever, then fuck it. But it's different when you got to step to somebody and shoot your shot and talk to them like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up? What's your name? Yeah, I'm talking about where you from? Who owns you? You know what I'm saying? Who owns you? Like, who you belong to? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This different. Hold on. Like I say, I'm off the shelf, y'all. But I'm just saying, the Mackin don't ever go nowhere. You feel me? But most definitely, yeah. So I agree with you on that, though. It's gonna be lit. I think we could do a good job, and it's gonna be, you know the plans that we got. We're not gonna tell everybody because it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to happen. But just know we're getting there, baby.
Yes, and for the individuals who
100 episodes.
Yeah, the centennial, that shit is dope as fuck. Like, that's a real, like, we have to celebrate. And hopefully we can find me a man while we celebrating. And
I think so.
Hopefully he likes to travel.
At the end of the podcast, what we should do is let y'all get on. I think we should give y'all a segment where y'all just sit there and get to know each other. And he asks you questions about who you are. And you ask him. I mean, because we're going to set up questions, obviously, and people to try to figure out who's the most compatible with you. So, it'd be dope if that after who you pick, who your selection is, and who you're willing to go out on a date with, or whatever the case, have some coffee with. They could sit down for like 10 minutes before that and just to get to know them. Because then that also helps you out. Like, okay, this motherfucker is not this, you know what I mean? Or it might be like, it might just get you hyped up to, we
gotta have a code word or a signal or something for you to know. Like, we're gonna
sit down. Like, honestly, we're gonna sit down sometime this week. We're gonna probably tomorrow. We're gonna do a little phone call between me and you, and let's sit down the guidelines and the parameters. But just know that we're trying to make it happen. If it ain't for this week, it's gonna be. We're willing to hold off the podcast for another week until we can get it right, because it will be filmed, it will be recorded, and it will be at a dope location. So, fellas, there you go. If you want to find out what the best kept secret is, then then you gotta know what you know. What you got for me, and how you feeling? I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, without saying anything, how do you feel about what we have recorded so far? Like, do you feel like we could keep going, or do you feel like, you know what, this is great? It's magic.
I feel like what we've done is fire. We might as well end off on the top note.
on a good note. Okay, well then, you already know. Like I told you driving, so take us up out of here.
Okay, so everyone, thank y'all for listening to No Invite Podcast, episode 99. The centennial is coming up. I'm super excited about it. You can find us on YouTube at No Invite Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at No_invite_ podcast. You can also find me on Instagram at the best kept secret, _best_kept_secret one. I know it's super long. I mean, and let them know where they can find you.
With all those underscores, I'm surprised that you needed a one. You had to make sure they got the right one, right? So look, they can find me on Instagram at blaze1diz_. That's BLAZE1diz_. Make sure, like Ann said, y'all check out the YouTube channel. That's RiBirth Media Films, RiBirth Media Films. That's the channel. It got no invite. It got vlogs, and it does have it is going to be the home to a lot of brand new content. Like, we're currently in development of a lot of dope shit. So I want everyone to know that, because we've been working, you feel me? Yeah. My little sneaky lip. That's my Stevie J lip, you feel me?
Okay, everyone. Well, this was episode 99.
99, baby.
Later. Bye.
Bye-bye.